A treasure chest in Jerusalem reveals the hidden heart of Europe. These are gifts that over the centuries European countries have offered to the custody of the Holy Land to promote the celebration of the liturgy, which is the highest expression of worship to God and love for the people he loves. In an extraordinary encounter between craftsmanship and grace, the life and mission of the Franciscan friars is celebrated in this land where God revealed himself to every generation and to all peoples of the earth. Liturgical action and social action coexist in a single mission, to save humanity by revealing the profound beauty of its glorious destiny.
La custodia di Terra Santa ha tre missioni. La prima gestire I santuari, promuovere I santuari.
The custody of the Holy Land has three missions: promoting the sanctuaries, promoting the worship in the sanctuaries, and serving the local population and pilgrims. The custody is deeply involved in supporting the poor and educating local communities in very human ways. But our care for the poor does not mean we should invest any less effort or energy into animating the liturgies. Caring for the poor and valuing the beauty of liturgy are not in conflict.
Tanta fatica umana per animare le liturgie. Non è un contrasto l'attenzione ai poveri e la bellezza nella liturgia.
E aqui nos ajuda Santo Agostinho.
Saint Augustine helps us here. In his aesthetic journey, he proposes a path of encountering the Lord through beauty. These external forms, even objects, point us to a deeper experience. The experience of the sacred, of the relationship between God and humanity.
A experiência do homem com Deus.
Questo parato portoghese è il più bel parato che noi possediamo oggi nella collezione dei parati.
This Portuguese vestment is the most beautiful one in our collection, kept in the treasury of the Holy Sepulchre. It was a gift from King John V of Portugal and is recorded in our chronicles as having arrived in the Holy Land in 1728. It was made in Genoa. At the time, European states were closely connected. On the main cope of this vestment, you can see both the coat of arms of Genoa and the royal crown of Portugal. This vestment was used for the liturgy for the feast of the Invention of the Holy Cross on May the 3rd, celebrated in the chapel on the second floor of the Holy Sepulchre.
La liturgia dell'Invenzione della Santa Croce il 3 maggio ogni anno nella cappella che si trova nel Santo Sepolcro nel secondo piano sotto.
Alongside the vestment, Brother Stefan shows us a mitre donated in 1791 by Queen Maria of Braganza.
Interessante pensare.
It is interesting to reflect that, while the French Revolution was destroying all ecclesiastical property, Portugal continued to support the Holy Land and the promotion of worship in the sanctuaries.
Promozione del culto nei santuari.
Por que Portugal oferece?
Why did Portugal offer these gifts? Perhaps today we need to rediscover the importance of the holy places. The richness and value of these objects are deeply tied to the mystery of salvation that is celebrated here.
Justamente com o mistério da salvação que celebramos.
It is fascinating to see how the custody's care has preserved some of the finest artistic expressions of European nations. The museum director shows us an 18th century lamp intended for the chapel of the Invention of the Cross in the Sepulchre, a pectoral cross and a ring used in pontifical celebrations presided over by the custos, and a unique object called the saetia, made of African wood. The Terra Santa Museum is not only a masterpiece of theology and aesthetics, but also a monument of geopolitics. It bears witness to the nations that loved the Holy Land, the 0 point of the Incarnation, and how their memory lives on. In many of their home countries, objects of this type no longer exist. In 1755, Portugal experienced a devastating earthquake that destroyed much of its artistic heritage. It's interesting to note that, despite the difficulties faced by the Holy Land during the Ottoman period, we managed to preserve the finest treasures of many countries, treasure they themselves have since lost. Research is ongoing, and by the end of this year a new catalogue will be published by the custody. It will present all the gold and silver liturgical works. I wouldn't be surprised if Portugal had contributed many more items than we will discover thanks to this upcoming publication.